What's going on, boxing fans? This is Kenneth, SBN Boxing. Let's speak boxing. What's happening in the boxing world? Actually, Bob Arum's meeting with Manny Pacquiao this week discuss who's he going to fight November 10th. Yes, he's flying to the Philippines. He's actually supposed to meet him out tomorrow, Monday, to figure out and throw the options out there. What fighters does he have planned for November 10th? Now, you guys know as well as I know, Bob Arum's pretty much a crooked used car salesman that knows how to sell. He knows how to speak. He has an idea of who he wants Manny Pacquiao to fight, but when, sales 101, when in doubt, meet face to face and get your way. Say the right things, talk numbers, and try to make it simple, quick, and make business sense. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to go out there for a whole entire week and sell the shit out of Manny Pacquiao, and who he already has an idea who he wants. It's just a matter of, putting your hand into Manny Pacquiao and play him as a puppet. Just sell him. That's pretty much it. And there's no surprise as far as the candidate's concerned. Mayweather's definitely not one of them. He just got out of Clark County jail Friday. He was released, so he's definitely not going to be ready for that fight. Who are the candidates? Let's go ahead and list them out. Juan Marquez. Cotto, Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley pulled off the big upset. Pacquiao beat Cotto, knocked him out in the 12th round. It was a great fight, and that was in 2009. And Marquez fought him 3 times, and they were all controversial. A lot of people thought Marquez got robbed that last fight, or he won all 3 fights. So there's always that controversy when it comes to Marquez. Now, Bob Arum said, you know what? He needs to sit down with, first of all, Manny Pacquiao and speak numbers. It's all a numbers game. He needs to sit down with him and basically tell him what he can afford. And what makes business sense. Arum crunched the numbers. Everyone crunches the numbers. Pacquiao and Marquez makes big numbers. Out of all 3 of them, Pacquiao and Marquez brings in the most numbers. In 2011, it generated 1.3 million views. 1.3 million buys, which is about 400,000 more than the June fight that took place against Timothy Bradley. Pacquiao Cotto was relatively close. It was actually 1.25 million, 1.25 million buys. Between Cotto and Marquez, they got that Hispanic fan base. Cotto has that Puerto Rican fan base, a lot of New York Ricans, and they follow him. Cotto's the man. When it comes to that, Marquez, he has a large Hispanic following. Marquez did 400,000 buys more than Timothy Bradley. That's a little over $900,000 overall to consider. So he can't overlook that. Numbers don't lie. So based on numbers, if Bob Arum's all about the money, which I feel like he definitely is all about the money, since he, if Timothy Bradley, he's going to make money regardless because he has the belt, and Timothy Bradley's young. So if that fight doesn't happen, which I would love to see that fight happen, and he's going to make money. Now Marquez is definitely going to generate money. It's not really too much about what Timothy Bradley wants also. It's not just what Manny Pacquiao wants also. Once they negotiate, once they come up with a figure and what they can afford, Bob Arum needs to go ahead and speak to the other fighter. He needs to also make sure that the other fighter is good to go. So not only Marquez is generating a lot more money than Timothy Bradley and a little bit more than Miguel Cotto. Marquez is definitely not going to say no. He's anxious. He's excited. He's actually anticipating. He's ready to fight Manny Pacquiao for the 4th time. So that's definitely not going to be a problem. So it would make sense for that fight to happen. And I kind of feel like that fight's definitely going to happen, even though that's not what Manny Pacquiao is entitled as far as his contract, because they did have a rematch clause, that he's entitled to a rematch. And the interviews that Pacquiao's been having, he's been wanting to fight Timothy Bradley for the rematch. But numbers don't lie. It's all about money. At the end of the day, people have to eat. These guys are not just doing it for entertainment. These guys are doing it for money. They have a livelihood. They have kids to feed. And they have bills to pay. So Marquez, Definitely is going to generate more pay-per-view. It's going to generate a lot more money, and he's not going to have no problem with Marquez. Now, as far as Cotto's going to generate just as much as money, but there's a weight issue. Just before the Timothy Bradley fight, that fight was happening. The next person that was in line was Miguel Cotto, but the problem with Miguel Cotto was he didn't want to go down to 147, so there was a weight issue. Miguel Cotto wanted to be around, low 150s, 150, low 150s. So if they do negotiate, they need to, when it comes to Cotto, they have to figure out the weight. Because Cotto's expected, he definitely wants to go up to about 160. He wants to get it up to all the way up to 160 and make some bigger fights. But Manny Pacquiao can't go that much, So Manny Pacquiao definitely agreed. He was interviewed and stuff like that with Bob Arum, and he's actually considered fighting at 150. Is it going to be a catch weight? Who knows? But he's definitely looking to fight around 150. Cotto, however, might not be interested. He might not be interested. He has the venue New York lined up in December. The opponent's to be determined. He's on vacation right now, but he already has the venue in New York lined up for December. But he definitely might be interested. He might move on. Is it going to be Mayweather? Who knows? That's going to be huge. If Mayweather takes on Cotto in New York now, Mayweather, more than likely, he's not going to do that, but he hasn't did it in a long time as far as not fighting in Vegas. So if Mayweather's brought to New York, that's going to generate a lot of money. But regardless what happens, Manny Pacquiao is going to generate a lot of money. Bob Arum's going to generate a lot of money. Bob Arum, he already has that September 15th fight lined up. There's definitely not going to be any problems whatsoever with Chavez and Sergio Martinez, which is used. Aaron is he was interviewed and stuff like that as far as the Manny Pacquiao and the Mayweather fight. He said definitely it's not going to happen this year. He's looking forward to next year after March Madness. He's anticipating that to happen around April, May. So he's definitely this is the first time he said it, but he's going to push for it. That's if Manny Pacquiao gets past his opponent. You just never know. With that Timothy Bradley upset, you just never know. Manny Pacquiao definitely has to make a statement and knock somebody out. So this mega fight definitely happens. But guys, let me know what you guys think. Who do you guys think Mayweather's going to fight this year? Do you think Mayweather's going to fight this year? Who do you think? Finally, who do you think Pacquiao's going to fight come November 10th? Is it going to be Marquez 4? What do you guys think is it going to be Cotto? Do you think Cotto's actually going to go down in 150? Or do you think Bradley? You think Bradley's going to have a shot? Well, guys, friend request, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. This is Kenneth, the SBN Boxing. Have a